So the first thing we need to do in today's video is actually number all the parts, and as you can see here in the IP, we've got a lot of parts to number. So I'm gonna quickly do all of this, time lapse it, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, as you can see, we've numbered every part we're gonna need for starting the build. There's some additional pieces for the keel, and then here's the actual keel. There we go. So let's get this off to a go. Let me just get all my tools ready and we shall get started. So I did need another piece of the planning. So this is a deck, but we need these two pieces here to reinforce the keel. These are both numbered 3, and then I'll just number the rest of this and I'll be right back with you. So the next step in our endeavor, play on words though, is we actually just need to cut out 3, number 1 and number 2, lay it down, make sure it's straight, and build the keel, the false keel. So I've got my box cutting knife here, that is wood, yes, and I'm just going to cut out all these pieces and then we can move on to step 1. Now guys, when you are cutting out these pieces, it's important to go very slow. You don't want to damage them, and you want to make sure that your blade fits perfectly. And you don't have to go all the way through, you can flip it over and make it easier for yourself. In case you guys were wondering what tools I was using, I've got a sander, a hammer, small drill, pliers, nail file, and a small pair of tweezers. This is actually OcCre's beginner kit. If you guys are interested, it's about €5. It's about 500 rand. So yeah, if you guys are interested, have a look at OcCre's website. I'll leave a link down below. But for now, we just need this, and yeah, let's put it down there. Okay, so the next important step is, once you've actually gotten the ship, the keel out of the frame, you just want to make sure everything's nice and smooth. You don't have to go too hectic because it is not going to be seen, but it's nice to just have everything even. And you don't want to go too hard, you don't want to mess up the shape of the ship either, but just a little bit. Like if you can run your finger along it and it's flush, then it's fine. Let me do this with the rest of the parts. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we have all our parts ready to assemble the keel. Now what's important is actually making sure it's flat and it's straight, so it's not bent or anything you don't want to mess up in future. So what you can do, what I do, is I grab another piece with parts, because it is laser cut out of a specific size, so it is square and it's flat. And what I do is I just line it up with the keel. I'll make sure everything's flat, straight. That way there's no mess ups or anything in future, and we glue them together. Okay, let me just go get my glue. Okay, so for this step you want to use wood glue, white glue. What you can do is actually put a piece of paper underneath so you don't mess up your work surface, and you can just sand off the excess. So you're gonna put this down, move that, and we're gonna glue these two pieces together. So we're gonna just pop on some glue there. Okay, now it's been stubborn. There we go. Whoops, that's a bit too much. But it's fine. So what we can do is just place it back in place, spread it out a bit more, and then Bob's your uncle. You want to wipe off the excess. I'm just using my fingers for now because I don't actually have towels. Okay. Let me just wipe down my hand. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wipe down the excess. Whoops. Just pop those back in. Make sure the keel is straight. Just like that. Wow, I spilled some on this deck. And then the next step is actually to place the reinforcements just here. So I'm going to let this dry out a bit before I do that, so I can actually clamp in the reinforcement, make sure it's sturdy. Well, actually, yeah. So I did notice that the keel did raise up a little bit on this side, so it wasn't completely flush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue the reinforcements in place, and I'm gonna get a weight and just put it on top. So let me quickly see what I can use for that. So I did find my weight. I'm gonna use a mixture of super glue or CA glue and wood glue. So we're just going to lather up this section here. A little bit of that. And make sure that you evenly spread it. Doesn't matter if there's excess here, because it is not seen, but if you want to keep it neat, just wipe down the excess and you should be all good. And then we're going to use a little bit of super glue. Bada bing, bada boom. And what you want to do is make sure that this is flush with the bottom of the bulkhead or the bottom of the keel. Okay. I like it being a little bit more to the left. There we go. That's perfect. And then I'm gonna take my weight. It's a pot plant. Oh, it's just a pot full plant. Gonna leave it on there. Okay, so guys, the glue has taken its sweet time, but it is now dry. As you can see, I did separate it already. We just gotta sand down that little bit of paper there. Actually, it doesn't even really matter because it is getting covered by another one of the supports. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you what I'm gonna actually do, because we don't need this anymore. Don't wanna separate it though. We're gonna take we're gonna take these two pieces and we're gonna lay it down underneath the keel of the ship, so that when we do glue the next piece in, and it stays nice and level. So that is the end objective here. Just got so much stuff on my desk. Well, the kitchen counter, should I say. Okay. Just do a little bit of a look. It's fine. I'm gonna get some clamps and I'll be right back. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just repeat the process. Some white glue. Just want to kind of layer it there. We did in the last one. Yeah. And then a little bit of super glue in the middle. It does make it dry quicker, but it also strengthens the bond. So we can go like this. Perfect. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna correctly position this. So you want to kind of in the middle of the two, just like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this clamp, place it down like so. We're gonna readjust it so it's nice and straight. There we go. And let's see. I think I'm gonna use this clamp instead because it is a bit bigger. Yeah. Now we can let that dry. I'm gonna wipe down the excess and we'll be all good to go with the bulkheads. So guys, I did cut out all the bulkheads. I sanded down these two. I'm gonna go ahead and sand down the rest and I'll be back with you. Okay guys, I just want to show you the sanding part of it. So as you can see down there, it's not really flush with the bulkhead. And there's quite a few on this one, so you just want to sand it down like so until it's nice and smooth. As you can see there, smooth. And you want to do this for all of the bulkheads in your ship. It's a quick process, you don't need to be too thorough, just a few times. Circular side for the circle side works better. There's one on both sides, so you just want to do that. And then obviously in the middle there's one, you can just apply like that. And then yeah, you're pretty much sorted, as you can see there. Let me finish up the rest and then we'll continue with the video. Okay, so now that this glue is dry on here, we can take the keel and we can start dry fitting the pieces. So I'm just gonna put it down here. And as you can see here, number 4 goes in first, the front bulkhead over here. And just hold it in the middle. And as you can see, it slides in. It's very loose. It goes in all the way down to the bottom there. So what we're gonna have to do here is we're gonna have to draw some lines. So let me get a pen. I'll be right back with you. So seeing as it's not really in there all the way, what you can do is you basically take your ruler or your square, this is a square, and you just make sure it's nice and straight with the bulkhead line like so, just so you can make sure it is in there straight. This is just a tip for if you don't actually have one of these. This is a square. You get them in mat sets. You can buy them at your local hobby shop, wherever you need. We're just going to quickly just line it up, and I'll show you the process of making it nice and square. We do have super glue, which is a big help actually, because it will help it stay in place. So like if you look here, it's almost perfectly in line. But what you want to do is kind of bring it all the way forward and just keep it there. So what we're going to do is we take, whoops, actually let me do something else first. Okay, so I've just been dry fitting the pieces, and as you can see, not a single one is actually flush and fit with the ship, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm just going to position it like that. So let me show you what we do in this situation. So I'm going to take our square. I have to remove these two first bulkheads. Six is close, but not all the way in there. Gonna make sure it's square. So to do that, you make sure that the right angle is all the way in there, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm quickly just going to apply some super glue, so that way it can dry and hold in place. Not too much. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, and then we're gonna put this in here. Make sure it stays square. And until the glue is dried. Just going to apply a little bit more. Okay, we just need to wait for it to dry. It is quite cold, so it's going to take a while. Okay, perfect. Okay guys, so as you can see here, it's going to take a while, but patience is key when you're doing this hobby. If you go in here, you can see that it is perfectly square. That's exactly what you want. You want these all to be nice and square and straight so that you can do the planking properly. Okay, so that now that it's nice and square, what we're going to do is apply some wood glue to seal the deal, make sure it stays in place. So let me quickly do that for you guys. So guys, this is the completed skeleton for the HMS Endeavour. Obviously we still gotta put on the decks and stuff. And this is all part of episode 1. And if you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Daily uploads. Peace.